Hi, Gandhi 80. Dr. Sasha Kamani, good to see you. Vince, good to see you. It's been a while. I'm going to make sure that I add my co-host today. Hold on one second. There we go. Hope everybody. Annie, good to see you. All right. Hey, Tammy,
Hi,
good to see
how's
you.
it going? Nice to see you as well.
Good. Look at that setup you've got out there.
Welcome to my lovely abode.
Oh, I
And,
love that. I
and my
love
little
those
garden
green
back there.
plants.
Yeah, thank you, thank you,
What
thank
do you
you.
have back there?
I don't know the name of them. They all have names. You have thing one and thing two on the ends, and then that's queen in the middle. So,
I love that. I love that.
yeah, we named all our plants, and you have Prince right there, the colorful one. So, yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
fun stuff.
love that. I love that. I like that painting or photo in the back also.
It's an old photo of mine. I'll just turn it sideways. It's an old photo when I first moved here to San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
I took it on the Marin side,
Oh,
and
you're
then
kidding.
yeah, and then I'm really good with Photoshop and editing and stuff like that. So,
It
yeah,
looks,
I was just like, why not print one of my own pieces? So,
oh, that is amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing. No, that looks great.
it's huge.
Oh my
How are
God.
you?
Pretty good, pretty
Yeah,
good.
and you can
Yes,
hear me okay, right? Because I have headphones,
I
and
hear
so
you
you
too.
don't hear all the noise on the street.
No, you sound great. Thank you.
Perfect,
Well, I'm
perfect,
really,
perfect.
really excited to have you today.
Yeah,
So
thank
to
you.
kick off, thank you everybody for joining us today on our live feed on Instagram. We have been, and we started cooking with Carmen. Now it's been almost 2 months now. And when we first started, it was about trying to make sure that we were highlighting some of our APA chefs and rising stars because we couldn't really celebrate APA Heritage Month in person. That was sort of what kicked this off. And I think as we started to go, there was just so much interest in learning about the different businesses, but also more importantly, the people behind the scenes also for some of the institutions that we love and that we care about. And I think especially in a scenario like we are in now, where we're in the middle of a pandemic and we have less opportunities to connect, it's even more important to make sure that we continue to support these organizations. And so today I'm super, super excited to be here with Tammy, who is with Mission Bowling Club. And so she has been an amazing, amazing thought partner in what we're going to make today, which is something different from what we're all used to. Up until now, we've been cooking generally food. So whether it was gumbo or it was taking a look at how we make different kinds of like fritters and so on, we're actually doing something different today, which is exploring the world of alcoholic drinks.
Cocktails or mocktails. Isn't that amazing? So instead of cooking with Carmen, we're drinking with Carmen today.
Drinking with Carmen.
So
And
yeah,
so, so I do want to just quickly give a quick bio to for so you know a little bit about Tammy, and then I also wanted to mention a little bit about Molly, also who's not with us on the camera, but I wanted to make sure to talk about her. So Molly, she is the owner of Mission Bowling Club, and she is San Francisco. Well, actually, California native, and she actually calls the Mission District her home. This is actually one of two business ventures that she has in the city, Mission Bowling Club, but also Mini Bar, that's located in the Western Addition. It's interesting because she first joined and started kind of in this business, I think fortuitously in some ways, because she kind of came out here, had a lot of student loans, was kind of has always been interested in creating and making space. And she actually was in a very different profession before she started this, which was actually a public health researcher. And worked with a lot with nonprofit organizations. And I think what she has really enjoyed about Mission Bowling Club and of course Mini Bar San Francisco has just been the ability to create space for community and to really be creative and to do something special with this opportunity. And I love that about her because she's, I think, constantly experimenting, trying to figure out ways to make this unique and connect and tied back to community, which is really great. And Tammy, who you see right in front of you, who's going to be kind of sharing her expertise, was actually born in New York but raised in California. She is super, super passionate about all things cocktail, and I think you're going to see that come across in some of the inventiveness that she's going to share with us. But I think more than anything, I think one of the things that she really recognizes is the ability to kind of bring experiences to the table for people. So, her using her passion for human connection, her passion for travel, and really being able to pull all of those experiences together to basically bring the party right to you. And so I'm super excited to kind of hear about some of her inspiration, how she brings kind of her perspective and brings, I think, the world and the globe's kind of different tastes and textures all together in one place. She has actually been a bartender in San Francisco for the last 9 years and worked for some of the best bars and restaurants in the city. And she started with Mission Bowling Club in 2019 as the bar director. So if you've been to Mission Bowling Club and you've actually had a drink or two and loved it, this is the person that you're going to want to know. And also, when we're finally past the pandemic and are able to come back together, if you've got great ideas or you want to try things out, we definitely want you to come out to Mission Bowling. So before we begin on kind of what you're sharing with us, Tammy, I wanted to just ask you, so I think we're going to be doing a special highlight today on a drink, but actually Mission Bowling Club is, it sounds like a place where you go bowling, right? And I don't think it's really intuitive for people to know what kind of offerings you have. But I hear there's some pretty neat things that you guys are doing with regard not only to the drinks, but also like burgers. You guys are part of the burger challenge.
Yes, we have been known for our burgers since we've opened. Anthony, who used to work at Duckboy Market, actually brought it over to Mission Bowling when we opened in 2012, and it's a very unique, juicy burger. The process is actually pretty cool. Brisket, hanger, chucks, and dry aged fat, and like grind it, and they create this huge log. So when we cut it, that's why you get the texture that you get. It's like a nice thick piece of meat, but because of the blend, it's really like juicy and almost crumbles in your mouth. It's like one of the best burgers, I think, by
But
far.
didn't it get like one of the nation's like top 10 burgers to try out?
Yeah, it did. It did. It has a couple accolades. Yes. So if you haven't tried it, please do stop by. We are open for indoor or for outside patio seating right now, and we offer our Burger Wednesday through Saturday.
So Tammy, tell us a little bit more about kind of your hours of operations, where you're located, and what might be some of the cool menu things that you would recommend.
So we're located in the Mission on pretty much South Venice and 17th. We're on 17th in between Shotwell and South Venice. And yeah, so we're open Wednesday to Saturday. Saturday is the day we have brunch, so the menu is a little bit different, but the burger is available. We have some really good, delicious French toast and loco moco. And right now, one of the things I'm really excited about is our vegan BLT. It is to die for. So we have the bacon aspect is made with daikon radish, which is dehydrated and then rehydrated in a soy reduction, and then we throw that in the fryer real quick to give it some crunchiness.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, it's really good. A cashew remoulade. It's one of the best vegan dishes I've had. So
do you guys do takeout too, so folks can come by and order?
We do. Okay. Yeah, so cocktails to go, food to go. We have a couple sweets that are in collaboration with Dough and Co. The founder Omar. He donates cookies to us, and 100% of the proceeds from the cookies are donated to Coleman Advocates, a nonprofit located here. And so it's really cool. Mission Bowling Club has always been community, and we try and give back as often as we can and try and, like you said, create unique experiences. And it's a place of nostalgia. We everyone's welcome. We want everyone to come in, have fun, and definitely.
And I think that's the one thing is that when people kind of hear Mission Bowling Club, it's not necessarily obvious, but I think one of the neat things is that it really is a destination for food. I mean, I've heard people from around the world actually come to Mission Bowling Club because they want to try one of the top 10 burgers in the nation. Yep. And so I think we're so lucky that it's right in our backyard and we can actually just order for takeout for our lunch or for dinner or whatever. So I think, definitely if you're in the neighborhood or if you're in the city and you want to support a local business, try out their burger, because I've heard it. I think Tammy was talking about kind of like this really thoughtful blend of meat that goes into it. They create this like crazy log that I think helps with the texture. It crumbles in your mouth. I mean, it's something to behold. So I think you really should take a look at that.
It's literally one of the juiciest burgers I've ever had. So I hope you guys come and experience it.
And
give
that
us some
vegan
feedback.
BLT sounds really good too. So
I'm looking forward to having one of those today when I
sounds good.
go in. So
So let's, oh, and I see right there, Holly Kate Gilbert actually posted, there's a post about America's Best Burgers that includes you guys on there. So
yeah, yeah.
thank you, Holly. So tell us more about what we're making today.
So we're gonna be making a punch. It's called House Party. Especially it's like kind of perfect for now. Like, you're chilling at home. It's a nice way to just create a large format of something and you can store it later and consume it whenever. It holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
Uh, it depends on, we'll go over some things as I'm making it, but depends on what you're using and what kind of citrus you're using.
Hmm.
Because lemon and lime go bad after 2 days, or it starts to change, I should say. So if you
Okay.
don't consume it within 2 days, you're better off freezing it and making ice cubes or something,
Oh,
putting it in your
wow.
sparkling water or something.
Oh, wow. Well, I think I'm going to
Yeah,
be
so
a big batch of
it,
that.
yeah, it's crazy that like I love the nerdiness about cocktails and how things change over time. But one of the things I've noticed during all of this is there are a lot of people who aren't drinking, and
Yeah.
so I wanted everyone to feel included. So these are kind of the stars of the show right now. So this is the non-alcoholic wine that I'll be using
Oh, wow.
for this, and then this rum right here, Florida Cana. Really excited about them. This is their 12 year. They
Wow.
have about 6 SKUs, but what I really love about them is that they're fair trade certified and carbon neutral.
Oh,
They've
wow.
been their fifth generation family owned, so they've been doing this for about 130 years. They know what they're doing. So the
Yeah.
products that they create is really, really, really delicious, and I'm really excited to work with them. So we'll do a non-alcoholic version and then the alcoholic version. And it's kind of I'm gonna make them both at the same time because you're gonna see how it's slightly different.
So
But
Tammy, before we go though, how did you get started in this? Because I mean, you were talking about like loving the nerdiness of it, but in order to like love the nerdiness of it, you kind of have to like really love this stuff, right? How did you get in?
yeah, well, I have a little bit of a tech background. I'm really into just the science and understanding why people do the things that they do. But a friend of mine who owns SF Mixology and Kabam, bartending and mixology school here in San Francisco, is the one who actually got me started. SF Mixology has been around for a while, and he needed help one day running an event that was a 150, 200 person party. I had no idea how many people we were serving that day, but he was just like, "Hey, I need a bar back. Can you help me?" And I was like, "I don't know what a bar back is. Like, just tell me what to do." And he was like, "Go buy all black and come back." But it was one of the best experiences that I had, being able to just kind of be there for people. Like I knew a little bit about bartending, but I wouldn't have considered myself a bartender at the time. But
Yeah,
some of the questions that they were asking, I was actually able to give them the knowledge that I knew just from being around, people in the industry. And so it
yeah.
was it was really fascinating. And then pretty much I kind of took off from there. He was like,
That
"You're
is,
gonna be a great bartender after that." And I was just
I
like,
was gonna
"No
say,
way."
it's just so crazy because your first experience like doing this was basically being jumped, I mean, dumped right
Thrown in the
into a
fire. Yeah.
200 person event.
Yeah. That's the best way that I learn though. I mean, even going from doing events, 150 to 200 people, it can be a little slow sometimes. It's like that initial rush is quick, right? But
Yeah,
I've learned so much from that I was able to go on and, I've worked at Raven Bar, I've worked with the Absinthe Group. It's just different feels, and different spaces create different things. So Raven Bar, that was like high volume for me.
yeah.
Coming from not knowing any bartending to, 3 to 4 people deep. Um, it gets crazy. So
Okay,
it's
so here's a question. If we're at a bar when we finally can go back at a bar and we're in
hmm
a situation where it's like 3 people deep kind of a bar situation, how do you get the attention of the bartender? That's what I
you
want to know.
know, in all honesty, I would say I can tell you what not to do because it's things that we don't like. And it's like waving or yelling, like waving your cash or your, credit card in someone's face. We hate that. So it's just like we definitely acknowledge you. We try our best not to have our heads down, and we'll try and glance up and be like, "I'll be with you in a moment," because at the end of the day, it's all about that acknowledgement. You want to be, seen. And, when that bartender makes that connection, then you're just like, "All right, cool. I see they're slammed. I'm going to give them a little bit of time." And we appreciate it. Sometimes you might get lucky and we might pour you a little cheeky or something. So, you just never know. You never know.
That's so true. All right,
Yeah.
so let's see what you're gonna do today.
All right. Let me move some of this over. Beautiful glassware. And honestly, with this one, you don't even need to shake it. You can
Oh,
literally just build it all. But I put the ice in last, and the reason for that is because if you were to fill your ice up with cup, or fill the cup up with ice, it's just going to start to dilute instantly. So I always add my
Oh,
ice in a bit last.
oh,
And since I am adding soda water to it, I was also put that soda water in on the bottom so that as I'm adding my ingredients, it starts to kind of blend instead of sitting either on top. Because some places after they make your cocktail, like they'll just add a touch of soda water or something, and it'll just sit there.
oh,
So,
that's so interesting.
yeah. So I'm using citrus. So for the house party, got a little citrus here, fresh squeeze. I did a little lemon and lime mix,
Okay.
mainly because lemons are not very juicy right now, or sorry, limes aren't very juicy right now. Probably a 70% lemon, 30% lime
Oh,
in this little
wow.
mix right here. But a lot of bars will separate them.
Got it.
So
So you were saying that lemon and lime will sit in the fridge for like 2 days though. But so
yeah,
if you wanted it to last longer, what would you use?
you could freeze it. Oh, if you wanted it to last longer, citric acid is really good to use. And
Oh, okay.
um, my favorite place to shop is SF Herb Co. Here
Okay.
in San Francisco on 14th Street. They have a lot of dried, just everything. And so you can go there and buy a pound of citric acid and just mix that with water and just make sure it's completely diluted, and you'll still get the same
Oh,
flavor
wow.
as citrus, and it's not as harsh. The
Oh,
acidity
wow.
isn't as harsh on your
I
gut.
didn't know that.
So we're gonna do half an ounce of citrus. This is fresh squeezed orange juice. I should say
Yum.
tangerine, really. And then it's a simple syrup. It's pretty much equal parts sugar and water.
Okay.
I got a little fancy and I threw a cinnamon stick in there, so it is infused with cinnamon.
Oh, nice.
But you can make and infuse any simple syrup you want. You can put rosemary, lavender,
Oh,
whatever you
wow.
want. And
So
this lasts for about
how
three
long does
weeks.
it last? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 3 weeks to a month. It just depends. As long as there aren't any like solids in there, you won't really get mold. So I try
Mhm.
and separate. Like when I do cucumber, I'll
Yeah.
just chop up cucumber and I'll let it sit on top of the syrup.
Oh, got it.
Let it sit for maybe, I don't know, 24 hours or something like that, and then
Got
take it out and then get rid of the cucumber. I
got
also
it.
like to dehydrate
Does
it.
it have to sit in the fridge or is it outside?
It can sit out or in the fridge. I mean, your biggest thing that you want to make sure is that the sugar is completely dissolved.
Got
That's
it.
like the most important. You'll see a lot of the times it'll sit on the bottom. We're gonna add half an ounce here, and then we'll add the wine.
So you said this was non-alcoholic wine.
This is non-alcoholic wine, and I like it a lot. Um, I like it a lot. It's not as sweet,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I like to use too. I don't know. Some people do one or the other, but sometimes reds can be a bit too bold, like too many tannins, especially if you're
Uh-huh.
not using non-alcoholic. It can be
Yeah.
very like dry and just like, too much. So I like to balance it out with either a white or a rosé. Um, yeah, and it seems to mellow it out a little bit more. And so
I
we'll
want
get
to
that.
know who like do you test your drinks on?
My girlfriend and pretty much anybody and everybody that comes through Mission Bowling. Because I mean that's my place, that's my playground. So, people will come in and be like, "Oh, I want something off menu." And I love when they do that. So I'm like,
That is
"Okay,
cool.
cool. Let's do it." So this is non-alcoholic, pretty much ready to go. I did citrus, orange juice, cinnamon, and then the wine. And if you were making it with alcohol, and clearly you're not going to be using non-alcoholic wine.
Yeah.
But if you were, I tend to do like my rosé and my white, since I like to mix it. I tend to keep those a bit more on the dry side, dry and mineral. And then my reds, I like a lot of bold flavor, but I do like them to be kind of tannin because it seems to balance out a bit more.
Got it.
And it's cool. So Frey is made in Napa County, St. Helena. So I thought that was really cool, just like being able to highlight local
There you go.
wineries.
So you just put the ice in at the very end. So it was first
Correct.
you put the soda water in first, you did your juices next, then it was the alcohol, then finally the ice is what you did.
And the reason we do alcohol last, at least me, I can't speak for everybody else, but the main reason I do alcohol last is because there's been times where I'm making someone a cocktail and then
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Oh, wait, I want to change my order." And so Instead of
Oh,
wasting that alcohol,
oh,
we wait till the end and we'll do it. It's happened so many
that makes
times,
a
just like
lot of sense.
mid drink.
Yeah, that's
So,
okay.
and then for garnish, I have these beautiful dehydrated um, orange peels, which is kind of cool. Like if you, especially like farmers market or anything like that, like if you have citrus or anything that's going bad, try and dehydrate it. If you can chew on it and eat it later, or you can use it in a cocktail, a garnish.
I never
But
think
yeah.
about using dehydrated stuff, but you're right.
Oh, absolutely. I dehydrate
Yeah.
everything, especially like nectarines and peaches, because they tend to ripen really quick.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I'll just like slice them up. They're not always the prettiest, especially if my mandolin is broken or I don't have that around. But you just stick them in the oven, and if your oven gets pretty low to like
Yeah.
175, 190, you can dehydrate a lot of things. So
Wow. I didn't
yeah,
actually didn't think about that. I'm gonna try that out. But I have
yeah.
the oven out. Yeah. So
Or
wow. So
yeah,
that's done then.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. It's nice because you just build it in a glass. Um, and I put a little bit more soda water in this one clearly, which is why it's more filled to the top. But if you were
Yeah.
adding alcohol, which I'm just gonna pour mine right on top and give it a little stir, you would
What?
add half an ounce of your rum and a touch more of some simple, another half an ounce.
That looks so
And
good.
then once we're done a little bit later, I'm going to share a bunch of pretty much all the recipes with everyone. We'll put them on social media so that you can make them at home, or give it to a friend who wasn't able to tune in. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you.
But
And so why
yeah.
is it that why is this one a drink where you can just kind of like pour it in and you don't have to like mix it?
Honestly, I'm gonna say because of the wine. Like when I
Okay.
do punches, like especially large format, you're not gonna sit and shake a bunch of cocktails and then dump it, and then you're gonna put it on ice, right? So then
Yeah.
it'd be overly diluted. So I just like to, especially when I'm doing large format like this, I'll batch it all in a bowl or something like that, and I'll add a little bit of ice just to kind of chill it. But I
Yeah.
don't add too much ice because you're gonna end up putting ice in your glass, and
Yeah.
I don't want you to drink something that's flavorless.
So, Tammy, I heard that there is a favorite at the bar called Assassin, I think it is called.
Silent assassin.
Yeah, Silent Assassin. What is that drink?
It's an amazing cocktail. I've had it at the last two places that I've worked. I've tweaked it a little bit for Mission Bowling, and it's pretty much made. It's a mezcal. If I was to describe it, it's like a mezcal margarita on steroids, maybe. And the only reason I say it in that, because it's not like your traditional margarita, it has pineapple shrub. And so that vinegar in the shrub tends to throw, like, depends. Like when I say margarita and people drink it, they're like, oh, that's not a margarita. And I'm like, well, maybe I should say margarita, but it's kind of like a margarita.
Yeah.
But it has this unique ingredient called chicha morada. And so chicha morada is a Peruvian purple corn, and what I pretty much do is make a syrup out of it. So I
Mhm.
use pineapple rind, green apple,
Oh
cinnamon,
wow, that sounds
clove, star
good.
anise, and you just let it slow cook for about 30 to 45 minutes. And it makes a huge bat. Like it's probably, I don't know, 6 liters or something when I do it
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah.
And so that's been the number one cocktail. As soon as I came on to Mission Bowling, I put it on and it's just taken off. So like people love it. They respond to it. It's a beautiful color. Um, yeah,
I
it's
want that. I want that.
done.
I think I need that right now.
Just let us know where we need to send it. We can
I
we can send it to
seriously,
you. We do have
I think
cocktails to go. So
I'm already thinking about the next meal, and it's going to be for sure one of those BLTs, for sure that signature burger, and it's going to be probably the Silent Assassin and this other drink here.
yeah,
So,
done, done,
yeah.
done, done. I do have a special one for you though. I actually have a one for you that is because I know you like vodka. And so, if it's okay, I'd love to bang that out real quick. It's
Oh yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
really, really
So
good cocktail.
you
I'm gonna
invented a
drink
drink
this
for
one.
me?
Cheers. I did. It's called Pandemic Release.
Woohoo!
So Pandemic Relief, and it's a nice vodka cocktail. Speaking of shrubs, I did make a custom shrub. It was so I did Asian pears,
That's one of my
juice.
favorites.
I know. So I juiced that and then mixed it with vinegar, which you can use white wine, champagne, apple cider. I use rice
Oh,
vinegar for this one,
Oh,
and
wow.
a
That's so
a touch of
neat.
sugar. Yeah. So let me make that one for you because
Oh my God.
it's
I'm so
another
excited.
pretty cocktail. This one is actually going to be shaken
Oh, I'm so excited. I don't, I can't say that I've ever had a drink made for an assessor before, so
though.
this is really a historic day.
There's a first time for everything. And I love that my bar cart literally has everything, so I don't need to move.
That's
So, a
incredible.
vodka of your choice. It could be fancy. It doesn't have to be. This is a nice, reasonably priced vodka made from the folks over at Buffalo Trace. Um, really, really good, clean, crisp, great for a Moscow as well.
That is so, that's so neat. So like when you make drinks, it's not, and you're doing kind of mixed drinks, you don't really need to use like the super high end ingredient or, like the alcohols, right? Necessarily.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you want to, kudos to you. But in all honesty, there are so many like smaller brands that are
Yeah.
amazing. So, like those who are drinking your Bullet or your Hendrix, next time you go to the store, try something different. Because
Yeah.
I think there are so many brands. Not that there's anything wrong with Bullet or Hendrix. I just feel like there are other smaller brands that get lost on the shelves because people are just looking for, those with the bigger marketing dollars, of
Yeah.
course.
It's
But
true.
there's some good stuff there that's not like, you can find a really good bottle of gin for $38.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think like you were saying, like these days there's so many like breweries and places that are kind of popping up, like even in the city. So it's kind
Oh,
of really cool to
absolutely.
see like what people are doing, Yeah.
Especially local Seven Stills, they had an array of things, but they were really good with working and trying to collaborate with a lot of local, whether it be artists or chefs, and just to create unique blends of whiskey and all other stuff. But
Yeah.
so that was some vodka that I just put in there. It was 2 ounces, and then this is some hibiscus syrup. You can kind of see that color.
Yeah.
Also, where I get from SF Herb Co. So I'm gonna do
Gosh,
an ounce of
gotta go to this
that.
place. SF
Yeah, they
Herb.
have Herb Co. Right, yeah. And so the hibiscus comes like that. It's like super dry.
Uh-huh.
And so you would put a little bit of hibiscus flowers, a little bit of sugar, equal parts sugar and water.
Uh-huh.
I like to use a kettle or just
Hmm.
boiling water, dump it in there, wait until the sugar's completely dissolved, and then drop the hibiscus on top and just let it sit for as long as you can let it sit.
That is
And
just,
then
that's neat.
it's pretty much magic. And then you're gonna
So
go
people are like responding. They love Seven Stills.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely. Little grapefruit.
Oh, I like grapefruit too in my drinks.
And then the Asian pear shrub. The shrub came out really good. I'm so proud of it.
Is this the first time you've made that drink?
Yeah. I make a lot
Oh,
of shrub. I try to make a lot of shrubs though.
gosh, to go to your home, I bet you have like containers and containers of different.
I need to have once this pandemic is over, I need to have a party to like help me clean out some of the stuff that I have.
Oh, look at that. That is a
Nice,
professional
nice little
drink.
shake.
That's a professional shake there.
Such a beautiful color. It smells so good. And since I didn't muddle anything, I'm just gonna single strain it, which is with one of these. Sometimes you see people with both of them.
Yeah.
That's usually for like if you have a martini or you want
Look at that.
no
That looks
ice or
so
anything.
good. And that looks like a
Such,
big glass.
yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and then I dehydrated some of those pears.
You weren't kidding. You really do
I
dehydrate.
dehydrate everything. It's like why not? And then mint is one of my favorite things to use just because it's a great aromatic on
Yeah.
the front palate. But yeah, so this is the pandemic relief.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I take that back. I've got to order the pandemic relief also. Order to go there. How's that taste?
Delicious. It's
Oh
so good.
man. Oh
So good.
man. Oh man.
Yeah,
God,
done.
it must be so fun to do all of this.
Yeah, well, I get to drink my own drink, so it works out. It works out perfectly.
Well, I know COVID has been incredibly hard on a lot of businesses. And I know for Mission Bowling, it's not, impacted you as well. I mean, I think you've had like, what, 40 people who used to work at Mission Bowling at any given
Hmm.
time. And it's now kind of pared all the way down to like 5 or 6 people. And so
Yeah.
it's so hard to kind of keep things going. So I want to make sure people know. Tell us again how we can support Mission Bowling, especially during this time.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest way to support is to either order to go or to come and just hang out on our patio. I mean, it's challenging for all of us right now. And so we need the support of the community to come in, tell all your friends, let everybody
Yeah.
know we're open Wednesday
Yeah.
to Saturday, 12 to 6 for pretty much most of the days, except for Friday. Friday's a little bit of a longer day for
Yeah.
us, just because more people are out and, they get off of work and they want to unwind. So, but 12 to 6 is kind of the key point, especially if you're ordering food and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah.
12 to 6. And do people call in or is it online ordering?
So yeah, I was gonna say we do have our online shop. So if you go to missionbowlingclub.com, there's a tab for our store, and it has food, drinks, and merch. We have Mission Bowling shirts and hoodies and hats and stuff like that. So yeah, any support would be great.
Yeah, so I think as folks are kind of like watching, and if you're liking what Tammy is making, which I personally want to eat there. Well, maybe I can eat at the patio, but I would definitely order out, get the pandemic special or the pandemic relief, try the silent assassin, and of
Yeah,
course the burger, the BLT, all of that,
all of the above.
whatever you can do to support Mission Bowling Club. And I want to thank you, Tammy, for really coming on and sharing that, more about, the background, the passion that you have, because I think people want to connect to our special places in San Francisco, and we want
Yeah.
you all to survive and be here when we come out of this pandemic. So, so for folks, remember, tell your friends if you can order from Mission Bowling, try to do that. And then if you can, spread the word and let people know that, this is a place that is worth going to. It's a place worth supporting, the passion that is there, the people who work there, who have put their passion and energy into making this space great. And at the same time, you get really great creative drinks and food. So
Yeah, and you can, we have open table and caviar for those who don't like to go on websites these days and you just want to do it with a click of a button or an app. We have caviar as well, and then for reservations, open table. Yeah, it helps us a lot, and
yeah,
I'm
and then
just
and you know
thank
what?
you for having us be
No,
a
and it,
part
you know
of
what?
your show.
Thank you. But it's also super rare to even have kind of outdoor patio space. So I think that makes
Hmm.
it even more special that you actually have the space for people to actually be able to eat there, right? And then also to be able to support you by ordering out.
Yeah, and it's a closed space, so we have control of the area, and it's a beautiful space outdoors. You get natural light, and you get more of this lovingness back here. I got a little plant wall in there, but
And
yeah,
then,
I mean, at the end of the day, we're just here to create a unique experience for you. All
yeah,
are welcome, and we're just trying to let the community know we're still here.
thank you. Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Tammy.
thank
I'm
you.
going to be looking at your menu pretty soon. So
Yes, I want all the
thank you.
feedback too, please.
See you soon.
All right, thank you
Take
guys.
care.